Good evening, Vacaville. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Vacaville Park and Recreation Commission meeting. Today is February 4th, 2026, and the time is 6 p.m. Secretary Valencia Reyes, would you please call roll?
Commissioner Berruman?
Here.
Commissioner Frazier?
Here.
Commissioner Gollinger? Commissioner Kelsey? Vice Chair Gutierrez?
Here.
Chair Oz?
Here. Next, Commissioner Frazier, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Commissioners, you've read, you have the agenda before you. Are there any amendments or staff? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
With a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our January 7th, 2026 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? No. Seeing none, and as a reminder that the commissioners will need to abstain from any voting on this item unless they've attended the meeting or watched the meeting in its entirety. So do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll motion to approve.
And second?
I'll second.
So I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the January 7th meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. So how does that work that we only have a three vote on that item?
I know.
But I read minutes.
I think we can push it to the next meeting to approve it for the next meeting.
Great.
When we have a fuller stuff
Great. Thank you, Nancy.
to approve. To have the same vote to agenda.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we have one more meeting. Great, thank you. So moving on to communications. Are there any communications to announce to the commission?
I don't believe there was any communications.
No communications. One person will be reaching out to us, so when we get that email, we'll forward it on.
Thank you. So moving on to presentations. Director Mulder, would you like to introduce item 6A?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So we have a presentation this evening. So we have Administrative Technician Katie Solorio and Facilities Maintenance Coordinator David Devers are here to present, and they will be presenting on our reservations and facilities topic.
And before they begin, I understand we have a technical difficulty, so we should be addressing the two screens on the side of the dais.
Yes, I didn't get a chance to talk to Corey ahead of time, but I know he was working on it. So
Okay.
he may have talked to you, Chair Oz. So looks like it's up on the screen though.
Great. No worries, take your time. Thank you, Tracy.
All right, I think we got it worked out. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, City staff, and community members. My name is Katie Solorio, Administrative Technician, and my office is located at Three Oaks Community Center.
Hello, my name is David Devers. I'm the Facility Maintenance Coordinator. My office is based out of the Lattice Community Center.
We are part of the Parks and Recreation Department, and today we'll be presenting on behalf of the Facility Rentals and Maintenance team. Vacaville is fortunate to have 3 well-established community centers that cater to the rental needs of its residents. Let's see, it didn't move on my end. Lattice Community Center is part of the Vacaville Cultural Center campus, sharing space with the Performing Arts Theater and the Solano County Library. Lattice is extremely popular among the community for rentals and can accommodate up to 625 guests. This facility also has a rentable commercial kitchen. This location is frequently used for weddings, crab feeds, business meetings, and large city events. Last fiscal year, all of our community centers surpassed their revenue goals. Notably, Lattice exceeded its rental revenue target by 33%. The Lattice Gardens, is it slow? Let's see. Moving on my end. Let's see.
It's got some lag to it.
Maybe.
Let's try to just like that and drag. Okay, not even go. Can I close it? Where is Corey? Is on his slideshow?
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Ulatis Gardens is tucked behind the Cultural Center. This space is perfect for outdoor events such as weddings and cocktail parties. The bridal fair. In 2024, we held a bridal fair in the Ulatis Gardens to promote this location as a wedding venue. This event featured 31 local vendors and included an elegant gown show. The bridal fair generated a net revenue to cover its own costs, bringing the event back for 2026. The next bridal fair will be held on April 26th at Ulatis Community Center and will expand into the Vacaville Performing Arts Theater for the gown show. You have to move on.
Is this our next?
Which one? That's right. Three Oaks Community Center has a convenient location on Alamo Drive. This center supports in-house recreational programming, including summer camps. The Assembly Hall features a theatrical stage and dressing rooms, which makes it ideal for performances and recitals. This facility is also popular for weddings and family gatherings. And Three Oaks surpassed its revenue goal for the 2024-2025 fiscal year by 35%. McBride Senior Center is a desirable facility due to its proximity to downtown Vacaville and Andrews Park. This community center is dedicated to enhancing the lives of senior citizens in the community and offers a variety of programs and services. McBride is also available for events such as fundraisers and family gatherings. Last year, we surpassed the revenue goal for McBride rentals by 31%.
Oh, you have to move it. Oh my goodness gracious.
It's not true.
She's trying to.
Down.
Hey, Katie and David, Corey did say it might be easier to use the arrows, the left and right arrows instead of the mouse.
We try, it's moving one and not the other at a time.
Oh,
Like if you
okay.
do both to get
Okay,
that to move and this one.
we may just have to work with the delay then.
Those are like your PowerPoints, you have like more of them.
Mhm. The other people's presentations.
Should I close it? Did you say?
For the mic. I really had them all. Close them all. Go ahead and close them all.
There we go.
All right, back to sports amenities. Athletic fields are in high demand by recreational programming, contracted leagues, and rental groups. Outpatch, Arlington, Centennial, Keating, Larson, and Nelson parks all feature desirable athletic spaces. These parks have rentable fields for sports such as baseball, softball, soccer, and football. We also have rentable tennis and pickleball courts located at Centennial and Three Oaks parks. Field rentals significantly outperform expectations, exceeding its 2024-2025 revenue goal by an impressive 60%. We have several community parks available to reserve, including Andrews, Arlington, Lagoon Valley, Magnolia, and Peña Adobe. Rentable picnic spaces are equipped with tables and grills, perfect for outdoor events. Despite the increase in facility rentals, park rental revenue continues to trend downwards. This appears to have coincided with Play for All Park opening. Play for All Park is appealing to the public because it has multiple covered picnic areas that are available at no charge. Because this park is first come, first serve, competition for these spaces has led to the public accessing the park ahead of opening. Since residents do not have to go through the park reservation process, they bypass the paperwork required for vendors at their events. Another challenge we are experiencing is meeting the high demand for both indoor and outdoor athletic spaces. Lastly, the city's annual fee study will be brought to City Council in February, so we are currently utilizing the 2024-2025 fee schedule for rentals. Now I'll pass this off to David Devers to discuss facility projects.
Hello again. This year, our department has completed several facility projects. The reception area at the George Duke Center was updated, including new countertop and cabinetry. We assembled and installed lights for the winter walkway at Merriman on Main. Lattice, VPAT, and Three Oaks received new storage sheds. We also completed installation of food and beverage vending machines at our 4 facilities. Lastly, we updated and implemented the facility behavior policy to address challenges we've experienced at our facilities. Some of the challenges we are experiencing include finding rentable space at McBride due to robust programming, participation by our active aging community. The camera system at the Lattice Community Center is outdated and only covers a portion of the facility. Limited visibility poses safety concerns for both staff and the public. At Three Oaks Community Center, the assembly hall lighting is outdated, which results in complaints from the renters regarding poor visibility. Some facility projects we are looking at for the upcoming year include the Arts Advisory Committee is increasing displays of public art throughout Vacaville. The Lattice Community Center will be upgrading the AV system. The McBride Center will receive aesthetic updates to the conference room. Three Oaks will receive updated lighting in the assembly hall. This concludes our presentation. Thank you for your time today. Are there any questions or comments?
Thank you. Any questions, commissioners?
I do.
Yes. Commissioner Bruman.
Yes. Thank you for your presentation. I'm just asking regarding going online and getting the rental space. Are we still using that same system that people were complaining about, that it's hard to use? Okay. Is there any result to get it better or make it easier to use? Because it's not user friendly, because I've been part of that too. So is anything happening there? Sorry.
It's the same system. We are in a current contract with them, but I can say that we are looking around at other options. We definitely take any feedback we get with customer frustrations. Our registration team definitely tries to help walk people through the steps if they're doing it themselves online.
Sure.
And of course, we're always available for in-person assistance.
Excellent. I had to ask, sorry.
I was just going to say, you can always make an appointment and go in and do it in person. Yeah, that might be easier.
That might be easier.
Any other? Yes, Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Curious, what was the reason that we didn't do the bridal fair in 2025? It didn't sound like you made a profit, but it sounded like it kind of paid for itself.
So it's a new event. That was the first one we had. I believe the city used to have it a long time ago. But so it was our first run through, and we weren't sure would there be enough of demand to have it every year. But definitely so we can explore if we get a lot of attendance. But so right now we're kind of looking at every other year for this event.
Are you partnering with, I don't know if they still do it, but the Opera House used to do a bridal fair as well. So I don't know if you guys are partnering with them on maybe your off years, so vendors can have an opportunity to have exposure at both events.
Not currently, but it's something I can definitely pass on to my counterpart too, who leads the rentals at Lattice. We are growing this year. The fact that we're doing the bridal show, which previously had a stage with fitting, so they did a gown show, wore gowns, including for like flower girls, and walked across the stage. This year, we're going into the Performing Arts Theater, so we can have a bigger crowd and make room for more vendors in the hall. because that stage was taking up a good amount of space.
Yeah, I love the fact that you are allowing them to have exposure to that outside area because it's so hidden, people don't know. So the fact that the bridal fair is there and have an opportunity to see it, I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback. People were like, I had no idea this was back here.
Yeah.
And we decorated it, but there were some pictures that were in there, but they decorated it, set up tables and chairs so people could see what it looked like for the wedding and awning, put crystals hanging from the trees to help promote that space.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Thank you both for all the work you're doing.
Thank you.
And Commissioner Frazier.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, you did mention some challenges. So the lighting, some rental space, the cameras coverage. What are some next steps for those in terms of what you would?
And well, in terms of the lighting for Three Oaks, that project's currently underway with Public Works. So we're getting some lights replaced. They're pretty old, and we're also kind of adjusting the brightness of that. For that particular location, the Assembly Hall Theater is a darker space, so we do want that for performances like ballet recitals and any of those kind of events. But we also want it bright for when someone's using it for like a meeting. So those bulbs will definitely help in terms of the lighting situation. In terms of the security cameras, we did recently replace the ones at Three Oaks, but the ones that we referenced for Ulatis, I don't think we have any start on that, but it's definitely something we need.
I can chime in on that. So the security camera projects are definitely a multi-department project. And so IT has kind of a priority list that they're working through for upgrades throughout all city facilities. So we are in the beginning stages of having conversations about what the priorities are for Parks and Recreation. And we've moved Ulatis kind of up to the top of the list. And so IT was finishing up another big project, and then we're going to start moving forward with making progress on the ones at the Ulatis campus.
Awesome, thanks.
Yes, thank you, Katie and David, for your presentation, despite the challenges that were outside of your controls. I just have a few clarification questions. I know you listed one of the challenges is space at the senior center. I just wanted to dig into that. Is that space primarily for the seniors, or would we rent that out space to other groups?
So it can be rented out by anyone. We just have a lot of programming that we offer for the seniors, especially during the day. There's not a lot going on in the evening, in the weekends, but they serve meals out of the kitchen. So when we have rentals that need kitchen access, it's reserved every day for that purpose. But there's a lot of programs that are running. So anything that's a weekday, we usually don't have space for them, which is a good sign. We have programs that we're offering and they're being used. But it's a little harder to find space in there for rentals. Usually we can find something at Ulatis or Three Oaks, but at McBride it's a little difficult to bring rentals there if the space is being utilized.
Okay. And I'm pleased to hear of pretty much all the rental income was up by about a third over the last year. Do you have just curious a sense as to what that's attributable to?
Aside from me, my counterpart being awesome. I mean, since I've been here the past 5 years, when I started, it was right after the pandemic. So we weren't getting a lot of rentals. I think that's the natural increase in rental revenue, but we're definitely focusing on trying to bring rentals and do what we can to improve those spaces in our rental process or to promote them through marketing as well.
So sort of a hangover took a while.
So, right. Some of the groups that we had prior to the pandemic, we had a lot of consistent rentals for churches. A lot of those disassembled. So it's kind of working towards getting all those groups back and running.
Great. And then I know that you made reference to the cost to service fee study that I'm aware that was being worked on last year. Did I hear you right that that's being nearly completed this month? Is that right?
I can chime in on that. So I believe it's actually going to go to council in early March now. So this is the fee study that's done every 4 years, I believe. And it's a comprehensive citywide fee study. So it's pretty in depth. It's not just a add CPI and call it good. So when that study was done last year, the timing has just been off to take it. And so finance is finally ready and able to do that. So we're hoping that will get done in March.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. And then lastly, just wanted to speak briefly about the Play for All Park gazebo space. Is that what we call, it's not, is it the gazebo space, or we also call it something else? Gazebos, shade.
Pavilion.
The pavilions, right. So you suspect that because we do not take reservations for those pavilions, that might be eating into rentals at other parks of the community?
Yeah, so any of our other reservable picnic areas, there is a cost associated with Play for All. Not only is like the newest park that we have, they have a lot of covered picnic areas, so there's no cost to use it. They don't have to pay for that or the deposit, kind of run their process through us or be accountable for the space, because we hold clean damage deposits. But there are so many of them and it's new. That's kind of what we attribute to the cost, because previously park rentals were pretty consistent or slightly increasing, and then we've seen a decline with no other reason we can attribute to that.
And I drive by, bike by there quite often, and I don't see them being used. So that's actually an interesting point. But so we have the one issue that we're just not getting any cost recovery. Are there logistical challenges? Is there a lot of work to maintain those pavilions that we're not being able to get any cost recovery from? Or just the coordination, or?
I wouldn't say so. I don't think anything has changed that, unless Elizabeth has anything to add.
So beyond just the cost recovery, there's not really any operational challenges with the system?
No, there hasn't been anything that's changed with park rentals. Usually for us, they've been pretty consistent on their own. As soon as the sun comes out, people come in to rent parks without like a lot of advertising or promoting those spaces. People know, especially the ones that are in high demand, like Peña Adobe or Magnolia Park. And there's nothing changed to those rental processes or the parks themselves.
Great. Well, I've brought this up to staff before, and it's an interesting question, but I know that at one point on our website, we had the listing of all of the facilities that were available in the parks to rent, but we weren't listing Play for All Park. And I would think that we still want to list that, even though it's free, and it might take away revenue from other place, but we're not in this to make money off of our citizens. We're just trying to provide them the best opportunities. So I don't know what the commission would feel, but I would advocate for actually making sure that that's listed as another service on the website, and not saying we're hiding it, but just to not list it because it's not there's not a process to go through. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I can double check that, but I'm pretty sure it is on there now, because we're getting questions for people wanting to reserve it. So like even some of our other places that aren't reservable or aren't reservable through Civic Rec, so that they have an answer about the information on there.
Wonderful. Any other follow-up questions? If not, we'll say thank you for the presentation. Great.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll move on to business from the floor. So this is the time to address the commission on issues that are not on tonight's agenda and are within the commission's subject matter jurisdiction. There's a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. Does anyone wish to address the commission tonight on something that's not specifically on the agenda? Yes, please come down. Go ahead and step up to the podium if you could state your name for the record and share your thoughts.
Good Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is William Thomas, and I'm here because I care deeply about the long-term health and livability of our city. I want to address the proposed amendment to the General Plan Policy PRP 1.1 that would reduce neighborhood parks from 6 acres down to 2.5 acres and community parks from 10 acres down to 6 acres. This is mainly regarding the East of Leisure project. Respectfully, shrinking our parks to increase property tax revenue is the wrong trade-off. Parks aren't leftover space, they're infrastructure just like roads, water, and schools. And the data is very clear on this. According to the Trust for Public Land and the CDC, people who live within a 10-minute walk of a park are 25 to 30% more likely to meet daily physical activity goals, which lower rates of obesity, heart disease, and diabetes. Access to green space is also linked to lower stress and anxiety, with studies showing cortisol, our stress hormone, dropping significantly after 20 minutes outdoors. Mental health improves, kids focus better, and seniors stay active longer. Public safety improves also. Neighborhoods with well-used parks see up to 20 to 25% lower crime rates because active public spaces naturally create more eyes on the street and stronger community connections. Smaller parks simply can't provide the same benefit. A 2.5 acre lot barely fits a playground and a patch of grass. It doesn't allow for fields, trails, or meaningful gathering space. It becomes decorative, not functional. And once that land is gone, it's gone forever. Right now, we've already seen green space around Peña Adobe reduced for development marketed as come live in a preserve. That's quite the contradiction. A preserve should mean protecting open space and not shrinking it. As a cyclist, I can tell you firsthand, I regularly have to drive to Davis or Sacramento just to ride on safe, maintained bike trails because ours are deteriorating. That shouldn't be the case. Parks and trails should be destinations within our own city. We should be expanding outdoor opportunities, not minimizing them, especially for children. Screen time's up, physical activity's down, and we're now seeing more e-bikes inside of our parks. Instead of squeezing space, we should be planning for it with trails and designated riding areas that safely accommodate how kids actually move today. If we design smaller parks now, we're designing a future where people stay indoors more, drive more, and connect less. Property tax revenues matter, but so does public health, safety, and quality of life, and those benefits compound for decades. A thriving park system isn't a luxury, it's an investment in stronger neighborhoods, healthier families, and a safer community. I urge you to keep the existing minimum standards, or better yet, aim higher and bigger. Because once we give up our green space, we don't get it back. Thank you for your time.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for your comments. Would anyone else like to address the commission this evening? Yes. I can access your mic right there. Give me just a moment. Thank you.
I'd like to convey the same sentiment. You know, I come to these city council meetings and art advisory meetings, and you see wanting to build, but at the cost of quality of life. You know, I live in an area that has a lot of low-income housing and very little infrastructure for decompression. Now we're renovating that park, and we've been building little throughout the years, the last couple of years, making things better. And you see a change in people when there's a garden or an area to have activities, or you bring events. And it really does change the community. It decompresses the volatility. It brings unity. And having profits at what cost? We're all getting more away from each other than united. We're becoming in individual boxes of our own sound, not getting connected to the human element. We're forgetting where we come from. We really need to have spaces that reconnect us. And everything he said about our health, mentally, physically, emotionally, our connections to each other, if we are not connected to where we reside, earth, and our surroundings, literally our cortisol levels, the colors from plants literally help us. just going for walks. But if it's something out of reach because of your economic sphere, or because somebody doesn't want to pay for it because they'd rather prioritize profits, you're going to see a decline in your ecosystem, and that's your people and the generations that follow. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. Great. Any other comments from the public? Thank you very much for your comments. Great. Seeing none, I will close business from the floor. And then, let's see, next we'll move on to our one business item, agenda item number 8A. Director Mulder, would you please introduce this item?
Yes, this is a business item. So this is to approval of a draft design concepts for a mist pad and mural and mosaic tile public art at our Trower Park. And Melody Land is here to rec manager to present on this item.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. Give us just a brief moment as we pull up the PowerPoint, and we have two artists with us this evening that are going to be setting up a few samples for you to take a look at.
Take your time.
All right, as that setup continues, I'm going to start us on our first few slides. Okay. All right. So tonight, as mentioned, we will be discussing some draft design concepts for public art at Trower Park for the mist pad and mosaic tile art that will be throughout the park. So just to give you a little context of where this is all going to be placed within Trower Park, and also the location of Trower Park, which is located, it actually crosses Markham Avenue and Holly Lane, kind of dead ends into the park and a little parking area there. I know it's a bit small, but you can see some red lines and a little bit of orange. That is where there is going to be mosaic tile art installed. And then the green kind of half moon there is the mist pad, where there will be a ground surface mural. And the two artists who are with me this evening, Angela Arteritano is the muralist who will be painting the mist pad, and Rachel Rowdy is going to be doing the mosaic tile art. So we've got another piece going into this park. It's a sculpture piece that's on a bit of a different timeline, so that'll be coming to you at a later time. And it's currently in its community engagement element, working at Markham Elementary to kind of engage the students in some design creation there. So just a little history. This park was approved for renovations in 2022 and kind of went on a long process of design throughout 2024. There is a theme that was affiliated with this park of nature meets culture. The park is currently under construction. We anticipate that it will conclude later this month or early next month, and then there will be a 2 to 3 month established period. We did conduct 2 community outreach events for this park, and specifically for these 2 art elements that we're speaking about tonight. We attended a elementary fall festival at Markham Elementary. There's about 700 students and families there, with their families, I should say. And that was great. We got a lot of good feedback. We had an activity booth where students and adults were able to showcase what did nature meets culture mean to them? How do they see themselves represented in that theme? We then followed that up with an event exclusive to the public art with about 30 participants in a community workshop also held at Markham Elementary. And then the draft designs were presented to the Arts Advisory Committee back on January 14th, where we received further feedback. Just to give you a little bit of a taste of the design contributions. So you can see some pictures that students had drawn, some collage creations that were created at that smaller event, and then some pictures that were sent in by community members that all went into the inspiration for the artwork that you will see this evening. And with that, I'm going to bring up our muralist, Angela Arteritano, to show and talk about the Miss Pad mural.
Hello. Thank you, everybody. So as Melody was sharing, we met with community members and talked to them about nature and culture and what does that mean and how do they see themselves represented in the local parks and their daily lives, and what do they want to see in the representations of the artwork that are going to go in this park. It was very important for us to listen to them and to get inspiration color-wise, some of the representations, some of the objects, the lines, the shapes, and the things that we were going to portray in the designs. So the design you're seeing here, it's the title is Origins or Origen, and I got inspired by it, of course, the water. It being a Miss Pat, I feel like water is the beginning of everything. It's life, and to have the kids play on top of that and for them to figure out where do they place themselves and how they orient themselves and transform themselves as they play with the shapes and the colors and the mural as well as the water features that are going to be on top. So I wanted the design to stay pretty ambiguous, still be very abstract. I wanted everybody to feel that they could find themselves within the design instead of it being a very representational design. I feel like culture is very much an organism in our society, right? We are all diverse from so many different backgrounds. Myself, I'm part Italian, Spanish, Venezuelan, American. So I feel like I'm never one or the other. So I wanted to have a design that people could just go every single time and feel something different or find a new perspective every time they see it at the mural. So I think this mural has that interesting component that depending on where you see it from, it might look like a fish, it might look like floral, or flowers under the water, or waves, or maybe waves in the sky and the different shifting colors of the sky, and of course vibrant colors that were directly from the inspirations from the community as well as our nature, right? We live in California and beautiful land here, and we have vibrant colors in our flora and fauna and our land. So I'll read you a snippet of what the description of the design, and then I'll leave you with that. Origins is an abstract mural inspired by community contributions gathered during a community engagement process. Flowing wave-like lines and vivid colors reflect what participants shared, including sunsets, flowers, pattern-based designs inspired by the natural world and shaped through personal and cultural expression. The imagery is intentionally open and transformative. At different moments, the forms may resemble blooming flowers, water plants, marine flora, or even a fish moving through currents. The colors echo sunsets and shifting skies with waves of color that feel both natural and expressive. Water represents life again, origin and new beginnings. Located on the surface of the Miss Pat, the mural becomes a space for play and imagination where children can discover their own meanings and experience the design as the beginning of something new and beautiful. That's it for me.
Wonderful. Thank you. Moving on to the mosaic tile art, I just wanted to kind of zoom in a little bit on the various locations where you see the art. They, as you can see in item number B, the Miss Pad does have mosaic tile art that will go and surround it. And so we're going to show you that piece again to note the inspiration that was drawn from Angela's piece that then Rachel worked on. So there are 7 areas with a combined 210 linear feet of space, and those little red dotted lines indicate which way the mosaic tile art is facing. So just make a note of that. You'll see these images kind of snipped throughout the various designs that you're about to see.
we stay on that page just for a minute?
Oh, sure. Yes, go ahead. This is introducing Rachel Rowdy, our mosaic tile artist.
I am. My name is Rachel Rohde. I worked on this project with a fellow artist in collaboration. Her name is Melissa Penny. She's not able to be here tonight. She is a fellow Vallejo. We're both in Vallejo, but consider the whole region our home. And Melissa is a muralist and has a lot of work with Latina influence. So I thought she would be a great pair to work with this community mosaic specifically. Just a little bit, we do specialize in, I specialize in large scale mosaics and public art and have over 60 projects nationwide. So we have a lot of experience working with the public, but also with communities. So with this project, we took all the inspiration from the community that was gathered, but because our artwork is one of the main pieces, one of the longest pieces, is surrounding Angela's artwork. Like her artwork is on the ground, and then there's a wall that's almost completely surrounding half of it. We decided to have Angela's work be the foundation for the style. In the imagery, because our work really needs to reflect and work with that because they are connected. So we let Angela take the lead with her design, and you can put that back on, and then took the community inspiration alongside Angela's artwork and created our first design, which wraps around this. So all of the walls are 1 feet. The mosaics are only 1 foot high, which is very small, and so we had to keep the designs are very simple and very broad, somewhat abstract, and so you can share our first design that's to wrap around. So the design is so long and so narrow that the top shows the full design in length, but it's hard to see, so we broke up the design into 5 segments. So the thin one across the top is the full design, and the first part is the first about 20%, and then it connects. If you were to stitch them together, they would connect. So this design is supposed to support Angela's artwork. We felt like her artwork had almost a stained glass look with the colors weaving through, and so we mirrored that, but have a lot of movement. There's this continuous spiraling lavender line that flows through that we thought represented wind and water and movement, because the whole mist pad felt like it was meant to have movement and joy and play. There were many, many hummingbirds in a lot of the community artwork. So we have a abstract, very playful, creative hummingbird, but it is in like a phoenix rising position, like coming up. So we mirrored those two images of like renewal and new life with the hummingbird. That is the central feature in this design, and there's some dragonflies that are directly connected with water. But primarily it's a playful blend of colors. We also have leaves throughout all the community artwork. There were many, many trees, which are very challenging to depict in a 1 foot high. So we have leaves to represent the trees alongside the plants and the nature. So that's kind of the foundation of our designs. And then we went from there to this is wrapping around the playground. This is supposed to be 50 feet long. Also in the artwork, there's many, many cactus, many, many super cute cows, and so we had to incorporate the cow. Right next to the playground, there is going to be the sculpture, which is going to have, Oh, am I not speaking clearly? I'm sorry if I'm talking fat. Oh, there we go. There's a lot to cover, so let me know if I need to slow down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. I can go with that. I can speak loudly. Okay. So many cactus, many cows, many, many flowers, butterflies, birds, So we're weaving this in, this kind of more modernized, very playful, abstract. There's a lot of indigenous inspiration, and these angled lines actually are mirroring some of the artwork that was provided. So it's a blend of them all. Next, throughout the park, there are the entry to the park. So as you're leaving, there's these two mosaic walls kind of flanking one on each side. They're not so close, but they are near each other. And so we have a continuation of some of the images from the community with the same style of the background that connects most of the mosaics with this kind of banded background. We did that for a few reasons. One, to keep the design simple and able to create with community members. We're creating different atmospheres with each one. So different kind of a celebratory feeling. So this design at the top, towards the side of the park, there is the skate park, which has two 10-foot walls. So we have one design that's mirror image for each of the walls. And this is to have like a celebratory community, diversity, but also the rainbow represents the ramps and the movement of the skates, the skate ramps. And when you put them side by side, even though they'll have 10 or 15 feet between them, it represents wings coming out. If you can look, there's kind of abstract motion of wings from the two rainbows when they're having the mirror image of each other. So alongside, as you enter the park, there'll be a kiosk with the mosaic on each side. So as you enter facing the park, there's a portion with the sign, and on the back side, there will be a bulletin board. So we have some of our favorite images reflected in this entryway to represent the park. This was our first design we made, and then there was community feedback about some of the specific flowers that are grown in the garden nearby. And so we wanted to incorporate those, which there were many aren't. There were two specific ones that had beautiful fuchsia and gold center, and then there were some orange ones. And so we changed the colors to honor those flowers. And so because of the oranges, then we had to change the background. So we have three options for the kiosk. So that's it. And on the side of the table, we have there's almost 3 times more colors than this. We have some of the tile colors available. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. So while we have gotten to the part of the presentation where we get to the recommendation, we certainly want to have some discussion. We want to hear your feedback. We, obviously want to hear feedback from the public. And if we want to take a look at any of the samples that are available, then, this is an opportunity we can have Angela or Rachel come back up and showcase any of those. So at this time, I will turn it back to you, Chair, for questions and comments.
Thank you, Melody, and thank you, Angela and Rachel, for your presentations. I think what I'd like to do before we bring it to the commission is just invite, since this is a business item, we'll invite members of the public to comment on this item if they would so desire. So I'll open it up to the public. Good evening.
Hi, my name is Mary Elkins. I'm chair of the Markham Neighborhood Association. So this is my park. And I want to say that we appreciate all of the collaboration with Rachel and Angela, and that they took into consideration some of the things that feedback we gave at the Arts Advisory Committee and tweaked it. So I just have a question about one of the things. We had agreed on that skate park that the original color was black. It would be changed to a really dark purple, but now it's blue. So I'm wondering what happened to that. And 2, on the mist pad wall, I love the hummingbird, but I'm wondering if it can be tweaked just a little, because I've received comments from neighbors in the area asking me why a toucan represents the Markham neighborhood. And when I looked at it, I thought, you're right. It does look like a toucan because the beak of the hummingbird is meeting the gold arc underneath it. So it looks like it could be a toucan beak. So maybe that can just be shortened or lengthened or something so that it's clearer that that's a little narrow beak of a hummingbird. Other than that, we appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, I want to say one more thing. Our park is approximately 4 acres and has always been too small. So I totally agree. Please don't make parks smaller than that.
Any other comments from the public on this item? Yes. Give me a moment. No.
I attended the last meeting. One of my neighbors attended with me. He's not here because he's sick. He asked me to convey that he would like antennas on the butterfly and details, as I've asked and others have asked, that I know we only have 1 foot tall and a lot of length, but we don't have a lot of representation in how tall it is, right? So if we go in more detail on, the renderings don't really convey tile art. It's an AI rendering, and I love how she's implemented, the flowers, the fauna, the hummingbirds, because it's really shown the last, since 2018, how the community has engaged in the garden, right? And it's been a place where people come and take their family photos and, here, send it to grandma or this person or that person. So it's really shown how our public spaces are really changing the community for the better. And I love how she's implemented these things, and I hope that there's detail on it and that we can really see in some kind of tile art form, possibly. Thank you guys for all your hard work. You guys have all been amazing, and this has been a long process. I've been working at this for about 5 years, so I know that you guys have all put in major work, and I thank you all.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public on this item? Seeing none, we'll close comments from the public on this item, and we'll bring it back to the commission. I'll start. Just a couple questions. So I think, Melody, you had a slide talking about the outreach that was done. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that outreach? Was that before to try to come up with the overall concept, or was part of that outreach after we'd actually got to these renderings?
So we did those 2 outreach events before any designs were created. So those were held at Markham Elementary, one attending a well-established event that the school hosts. It was during the fall, kind of a, Halloween, everyone come. And so we got to be a booth that was, an activity booth of sorts. And what was so great is we were one of the free booths. So everyone came to our table and engaged in what you see in these kind of drawings here. We had these big poster boards. And so you see multiple contributions from kids of all ages, adults. You can see the hummingbird there. You can see some cacti, butterflies. And so that was kind of our first event where we had the high volume of community members from the neighborhood. Then we hosted another standalone event, which is where you see these collages kind of coming in. And this is where people were given different materials to kind of showcase how do they see themselves in that theme of nature meets culture. And so we talked about the project beforehand, and then we said, hey, tell us what's your vision? How do you see yourself? How do you want to see yourself reflected in your park? And then what you see in some of these photos here and some of the feedback that was spoken about tonight, that was received at the Arts Advisory Committee that took place on January 14th in 2026, this year, just earlier this year, a month ago.
So any comments on at the event, any feedback from the public on what they were really looking for beyond what we see here?
I mean, what you see here, that was kind of a compilation in what you heard from Rachel. Those were the things that were presented. And really, they took those inspirations to create the designs.
Okay. And then at the Arts Advisory Committee, they obviously approved to move it to the commission, but was it unanimous? Were there any issues that they might have had or that we must be aware of?
Wanted to move it forward. Obviously, there were changes made based on the feedback from that meeting. And so some of those were incorporated. And just as we're hearing feedback tonight, those we can, do our best within budget. Obviously, any, constraints of the space that we have to make updates. And that's part of the process, right? Is having this public comment and getting feedback so that we can revise the design so that it is something that is what the community wants to see.
Okay. I'll open it up to the commission. Commissioner Bruman.
Thanks. Angela and Rachel, thank you so much for your presentation. Coming back from Hispano Familia, I know the culture and all that good stuff, first generation American. I love that you bringing out the colors because I had a talk with Councilman Silva this morning, and I'm sure you heard from him. And he wants to make sure that, the colors that are coming out are very bright, vibrant, and they show deep-rooted culture and that they're really emphasize the resilience of the community over there. So, and I see that he asked for hummingbirds. I saw the hummingbirds in there, and he was asking for some monarchs. So I don't know if you guys can handle that, but yeah, if they can fix the hummingbird, it does look like a toucan. And I'm sorry, but it does have a longer beak than it should. But if it can shorten that up a little bit. But I love that you're using all the colors because he named them all off. Obviously, been around. But thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, Commissioner Bruman. We'll move to Commissioner Frazier.
Yeah, overall, I think this looks pretty awesome. I think it's going to look really, really good. And so my question is, there were 3 options for that last one. How does that get sorted out now? Like those... yeah, so there were like 3 different options presented, A, B, and C. And so what happens with that?
We're looking for feedback.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So these, as Rachel mentioned, these option 2 and 3, those were updated based on the inspiration and feedback that was given at the Arts Advisory Committee. So certainly that's, where I would want to lean is into those 2 options, this option 1 being the first an original design.
That one right there, that's the first option?
This is option 1 with
the purple butterfly? Yeah,
with the purple butterfly, yes.
I like that.
But that one right there looks like you could almost work a monarch into that, or something like that. So
that's, feel like I'm getting an eye exam, which I actually had one this week. So option 1, this is option 1 with the purple butterfly.
Yes. They're labeled right, I don't know if you can see it, but in kind of the top.
There you go.
1 of 3.
Yep, 1 of 3.
Option 2.
Option 2. And option 3.
Interesting. So that's as part of this action tonight, you want us to weigh in on one of those 2 options?
Please.
Okay.
I kind of like, personally, option 2. The one with the blue background.
Could you go?
I like it on the screen. It looks really bright on the screen.
Vice Chair, do you have any?
I do. I was waiting.
Okay.
Talk, and I think Commissioner Bruman was kind of commenting on something I was going to address as well. So on our screen, it is very vibrant compared to this screen.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
There.
And so I love the way it looks on this screen, and I'm not sure if that's how it's going to be in real life, if it's going to look like that or the way it looks here. Because the thing I was going to bring up is, I love the the bright colors. To me, when I think of art, like a representation, when I visit Mexico, it's the bright reds and not even yellows, it's golds. And so it almost looks like a little pastel-y where it gets a little watered down. And just, born and raised in Vacaville, culture here, we're doing a better job now than we've done in the past, but Vacaville's been accused of having a watered down version of culture. So I feel like if we have an opportunity to go big and bright and bold, this just really seems like a chance to do that. So if they can appear the way it looks on our screen, especially after weather when it starts to, fade away a little bit, if it already starts a little bit muted and faded, I don't know. But if there's an opportunity to bring in that brightness, and I also agree about the bird didn't look the way I think it was supposed to. And it felt like then it started to feel a little bit Caribbean when it got a little bit lighter and not like the bold colors of Mexico. And so that was my feedback. And then also, if we could, and I've talked to a few people in the community, and I'm sorry, before I go on to my next, were you going to say something?
I was just going to invite Rachel to come back down and kind of highlight some of the tiles that are here so that you can see the true colors. Because you're right, they're not captured, the digital rendering doesn't do them justice.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. So it is closer to the boulder.
They're right. Yeah, they're tiles. And I know Corey was showing them on the screen a moment ago, so people at home could get a sense of those as well.
Okay, awesome. My other comment is I echo everyone talking about the parks, and I agree when kids have things that they're proud of and a place to enjoy themselves, and especially if it's a place that they see themselves in, I think that is amazing. Is there a way to add, and I don't know if this is already talked about, like add solar lighting so the park will be lit up at night? Also, hopefully deter anyone coming to do anything where you can really see the colors as you're driving through, and again, deter anyone that might want to do any kind of damage to the artwork.
Unfortunately, we don't have budget for it at this time, but we could look into it and, put that as a priority for the Arts and Culture Master Plan. We always want to be increasing our lighting on public art.
Yeah. That was it for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for your work. I can't even imagine it's like having a baby and putting it up for people to criticize. So thank you for your work.
Yeah, just to follow up on, I've got a few things, but just to follow up on that, would lighting actually help? Is that actually common for these types of murals to actually have some strategic lighting to? Please, if you would, Angela, if you could come to the podium, please, yeah.
And just real quick, I just want to make a reminder that our parks do close when the sun goes down. So lighting tends to be an invitation and signal that a park is open when it is not. So we wouldn't,
Thank you for that.
There's safety lighting, but then a well-lit park is actually not what we're going for because we need to communicate the park is closed.
That was going to be part of my comment. So I think it depends on the surface where the mural is located. I certainly, I have to go in. There you go. I have certainly seen throughout history, right, certain murals that are in buildings that you see a lot of lighting on. This one, honestly, I haven't seen much done on a ground surface before or a misbat like this. So I don't know. And like Melody was saying, we were looking into, because people were saying, what about fluorescent type paints? But I feel like that kind of didn't help with the idea of like the parks are closed, they're not supposed to go in there. I feel like if we have some component like that on the paint and people look at how bright it is at night, they're going to want to go check it out in the middle of the night, and that's not something we're encouraging. So that's kind of part of what we were steering away from that. We still chose colors that were very bright, as you could see some of the paints and the tile, even though of course mural grade paints and tile, it's never going to be the same, but I was able to get a lot of bright colors that almost look like fluorescent, but they're not. So at night they won't pop. So I don't know if that answered the question. Yeah.
Great. And then I just wanted to step back for a second and just recognize that, one, we've talked about as we go to develop new neighborhood and community parks that we want them to have some type of at least a concept so that it's just not playgrounds, fields, and courts, and that's it. And so that's great. And then secondly, this is completely in line. This is our arts and cultural master plan at work. We're bringing art into the parks. So round of applause for the team for implementing that master plan that's only, not even a year old yet. So that's great. So I'm excited to see that. I'm really excited for this project. I fully support it. The only other, I wanted to make sure Mary had some questions about the skate park tiles and then the hummingbird. I want to make sure that we properly address those. Do you have any comments on those?
Just that I happened to catch Rachel earlier, and it does seem like we can exchange it out and kind of adjust the color so that the blue is not the background color, but going back to kind of a purple. I don't know if Rachel, you wanted to comment on any of that and kind of share. When they went back, she shared with me. I'll share a little bit.
While you do that, can you pull that up so we can see what would change?
I'm just going to show them up. I don't know if I can hold them all. I'll hold them up. So at our last meeting, we received feedback. We had a black background, and it was unanimously desired to change to not be black. And I had purple tile at the time, and I was like, oh, we could do purple. And everyone said that was better. So when we went back to the studio, I found a very, very dark blue that everyone at the studio thought was extremely more fun. So I put the blue in, but I'm happy to do purple. So I have both that the community, whoever we can look at alongside the colors in the other portions. So we're open to whichever
flip
feedback.
those over.
This is the blue and that's the purple. And here is some of the rainbow colors. In contrast, so.
There's no photo of the purple showing.
No, it's more dull.
So it'd be this, but
that is the purple right here.
Yeah.
And that's the blue, which we thought looked more like night in here, if anyone wants to see. And we can look at it on the table. We're open to whatever anyone thinks, so.
May I make a comment?
Unfortunately not, no.
So I'll take this. Any other questions about, do you have Wi-Fi? Because I can show the community and everyone pictures of our mosaic work, which will show what the tile work looks like. Often we're asked to put in lay patterns, which is all the mosaic patterns, but it takes many, many, many hours. So we're because of the time and the budget, we're electing to just show a simple design, but we can show examples of prior work to show what these colors and patterns will look like. So, okay.
Did you guys get that plan change?
Oh, there it is.
Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Chair.
Yes.
Where are you going?
1 moment. Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Not to beat a dead horse, just back to the lighting. I totally understand when the park is closed, and to deter that, I will say parks being closed does not necessarily deter people who want to be at the park when it's closed. But again, if there is an opportunity, I think whether it's on a walkway or if it's close to the artwork, again, to preserve and not have anyone do anything. If there's an opportunity, whether it's in the budget, which I don't think solar lighting is that expensive, but again, I think that will, because that community also, a lot of people walk or ride their bikes. So for a safety feature, even to just kind of have maybe a pathway where maybe the art is to deter people who might be hanging out there that shouldn't. Just want to reiterate that. I understand about it not being fully lit to invite people, but I also think if there's a way to deter folks, because we know they are attracted to the parks after they're closed, if there is a way to still provide safety and have a deterrent as well.
Thank you.
Before I also have the other commissioners would like to speak, but before I do that, you have this pulled up. Do you want to present that, see what we're looking at?
Hi, this is an example of another project that are low, long seat walls that were about 1.5 feet high. So, but it does show mosaic patterns, how we use the tile and break it and cut it and fit it, and some of the brightness of the colors. So the dark blues aren't necessarily in there, but the reds, the oranges, let me see if I can make this scroll. I can't make it scroll. Oh, thank you.
Was there a reason why it's only 1 foot versus like you're showing here 1.5 feet? Was there a purposeful design reason for that, or?
That was Parks and Rec.
Yeah, that was pre-designed by our consultant, and I think just probably trying to keep concrete costs to a minimum.
Okay.
So there are just some examples.
Wonderful.
Does that help?
Well, Commissioner Frazier.
Yeah, this is really neat. And that one that you were showing before did show kind of the difference between that purple color and that kind of darkish, kind of a darker blue color. And that dark blue color, even on the murals that we're showing here, did kind of depict nighttime,
Yeah,
that
that
seemed
one.
like it, yeah. Whereas just the purple by itself might not depict that. But yeah, that darker color seems like it does, huh?
I tend to agree. I think the purple.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bruman.
Yeah, just to emphasize what Commissioner Gutierrez was saying regarding the lighting, was also Councilman Silva's concern to make sure there was plenty of lighting, because he's worried about vandalism. And because, you always have those people that don't ever have anything else to do. But he definitely is concerned about lighting. But he also said that he may be able to help with some finances. You might want to reach out to him. They have little coffers, what they call them. And so maybe you can work out something with him. Just try to put that out there.
Thank you.
I'll turn to Nancy. We do have some members of the public that did express some interest to speak again. May I open public comment one more time? Great.
At your discretion.
Great. So I will open it up to the public, and if you'd like to speak on this item, continue, we'd be happy to.
I helped found the Markham Neighborhood Association, been doing community volunteer managing the community garden since 2018. A lot of projects throughout Markham, okay? Mural art, tile art, you name it, right? So we have really changed things step by step. We used to have a lot of graffiti, 2 types of gangs fighting over walls and walkways. And now we've put in a mural art of butterflies of paint, and it hasn't been tagged once, okay? But when? I didn't know that. Well, thank you, Marion. Anyways, but it was spray painted over so that if it did get tagged, we could also take it off. Why do I bring this up? Because there's 2 main color fractions of gangs, factions, that have an issue. And that's why I brought it up last meeting, that there's certain colors that are triggers, okay? Instead of wanting it to bring conflict, we want it to bring peace. Another opportunity to have a different viewpoint, right? And that's why we discussed, and Rachel had brought up the purple, and we all agreed, purple, great. Then it changed to blue. They thought it's more aesthetic, but we still have the issue of conflict. So that's why I brought back, then that's why I emailed about that, because we don't want the conflict. We want it to be peaceful. The other part of it is that I do like bright colors on the flowers and the flora and the fauna, but I really am going to push that more detail, like you do. San Francisco ones were way more detailed than these ones, and it really showcases a lot more of the flora and the fauna. So, thank you.
Thanks. That's really all I wanted to say, and I think that's important. We are concerned about the gangs. We have had a lot of forward progress in Markham. I've lived in Markham for 54 years, but there is still a problem. Just last break, poor AutoZone got their wall tagged a couple times. Public Works came out and painted a fence at the park that was tagged, and before it was even dry, they'd come back and tagged it again, but it happens when the kids are on break. It doesn't happen so much after that. We are concerned about the blue. Blue and red are gang colors. And, quite simply, that was why we like the purple better than the blue. And I think that's something that's important to consider. We got away from the red too in the rainbow for the same reason. Thanks.
Everybody, my name's Kaya Lute. I'm with Visit Vacaville, and since we're all giving our 2 little cents, I thought I would just give mine as well. I'm looking at the kiosk monument signs, the 3 options. Just something I noticed. I think they're all beautiful, by the way. Amazing job. But I was looking at option 1, 2, and 3. On option 2, I was looking at the cactuses at the bottom one. To me, they look like a watermelon. In the other 2 options, they have like some sort of flowering bud on the top. So that would just be my only thing, is just to add the flower. Otherwise, I think they're all really beautiful. So that's it.
So I'll close public comment from the floor, bring it back to the commission. Unless there's any other comments, I want to, Melody, make sure you're getting the feedback that you need beyond just the action. But I think you wanted us to weigh in on the options, and then also blue versus purple is the other issue. Or are there any other issues I might have missed?
Nope, that is it. And then just move it forward for council approval.
Great. So should we just run through the options just one more time, and we'll...
Absolutely. So option 1, this is the original design that was presented at the Arts Advisory Committee last month. And then option 2 has the blue background. And as just noted, the floral element is not there on one of the cacti. I'm sure that could be easily added in if the blue is preferred. And then the green background with a little bit of different coloration there with the butterfly and flowers.
And what was the recommendation of the advisory committee?
They were only presented option 1. So option 2 and 3 have come out of feedback from that meeting.
Okay. So can we just straw poll really quick? What are your, and we don't have to include that as part of the action. We can just maybe give you our feedback?
Yes.
Okay. I'll start with the purple blue. I actually aesthetically think that the purple looks a little bit better, and from the issues that were expressed by the public as well in relation to blue possibly being attracted to the gangs, I think that I would support purple. Purple, blue.
I love the, was it the midnight blue that almost looked like night? It wasn't a bright blue, so I don't know if that would trigger anything as far as gang. I mean, my former life, I come to know a few gang members, but that feels like it's dark enough where it wouldn't trigger anything. I like option 2, and mainly because of, yes, I think a little flower bud needs to be on the cacti, but I love, there's more detail on the flower on that one, so there's an opportunity to provide a little bit more depth and detail on that one than the others. So that option 2 would be
Okay.
with that midnight blue background.
And then purple versus blue for the,
If it's that dark midnight blue, that would be.
all right.
So, yeah, I think I would go for the purple as well. And I like option 2, because on our screen, option 2, like the colors look really, really good. And then I think the cactus, watermelon, the cactus with the flower would be great. And so, yeah.
And I concur with that. Commissioner Wheelan?
Yeah, I agree with the commissioners as far as the blue. It's not the bright blue gang member blue, but it's a dark blue, and I think it's going to look good the way they have it. It just emphasizes the color of the purple on it. As far as the butterfly, was 3? Yeah, I like that butterfly better. I like option 3, but again, the watermelons need to go, but make more of a cactus out of it.
Melodies, does that help you in terms of feedback?
We didn't get your opinion on 1, 2, or 3, Chair.
Yes, I concurred with Commissioner Frazier, option 2.
Thank you.
Great.
With the purple, you like.
In the purple.
All right.
Are we ready to move on to perhaps, maybe I can entertain a motion?
Exactly. Thank you so much.
So is there a motion to approve the draft design concept for the mist pad mural and mosaic tile public art at Trower Park?
I'll make the motion.
Great, so there's a motion and a second to approve the draft design concept for mist pad mural and mosaic tile public art at Trower Park. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melody. Thank you, Angela. Thank you. All right. So let's see, we'll move on to committee reports. Commissioner Kelsey, unfortunately, was not able to make the meeting tonight. Don't know if there's any, from staff, if there's any comments on Play for All committee?
I was just going to ask Nemo, but he just walked out. So, Nemo, is there any updates on Play for All? I don't know that there's been a meeting since the last. Thank you for coming up.
There is no update on Play for All, other than the park planning update that I provided last meeting, which is that the indication is that both phase 2 and 3 are likely to happen this year, with phase 2 being the ball field. So there's been some grading progress done for the ball field. But the last time that I attended, nothing had been done since the previous few months. And then I think that the dog park, which is phase 3, has been approved by the city. So the plans are good to go. Now it's back in the hands of Play for All, the nonprofit.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nemo. Moving on to the Vacaville Arts and Cultural Alliance. Commissioner Ruman.
Yeah, I attended the meeting on the 8th of January at the Hyatt House with Visit Vacaville, as Ms. Kai is representing them today. They're looking for some actors for a Valentine short film, and looking for a little love story they're trying to put together. And they don't want this old guy, they want some younger folks. But if you know anybody, contact them to see if you might make the cut. So they have specific roles and timeline for this, so they want to get it done before Valentine's for sure, kind of, sort of. Also, they're looking for volunteers to open up a community service project, which is changed to the roadie for 2027. And I do have great news for you. I got somebody for Visit Vacaville to contact regarding that. And it's going to be easy to do, so no problem. I talked to Mr. Wallace. He was on vacation when I was on vacation, so we kind of missed each other. Also, on the week of April 17th and the 18th, they're going to have the In Plain Air multicultural event. Looks like dual locations now. We're at Pin Adobe and at Town Square Plaza. So they're opening up for participants. The deadline is 3/3/26. So if you know any musicians, artists, vendors, there's even opportunity for sponsorship.
That's a multicultural event?
Mm-hmm. And then also, let's see, what else did I miss here? I don't think I got anything else, but it was a great meeting. It was the ladies that show up and MePat, they got a full calendar of things happening, man. I said, you'd have to go online to check it out. I couldn't even name them all. I mean, there's a lot going on there, but it's really great. So there's plenty to do in Vacaville. When people don't say there's nothing to do, there's plenty to do. You just got to find it. That's it.
Great. Any questions for Commissioner Bruman? Great. Seeing none, we'll move to reports of the park manager.
Excuse me, Chair.
Yes.
We're getting set up for that. Can we just take a few minutes for the artists to grab their things so they can take care of that and move on?
So we'll take just 5 minutes for just a brief recess.
Thank you.
Great, so we'll return from recess and we will move to reports of the park manager. Again, good evening, Wallace.
Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. I just have one thing for us this evening, and it's the update you on our ball field maintenance operations. So each year from December through February, we conduct our annual baseball field maintenance and renovation programs. This planned period allows staff to complete essential repairs and improvements that support consistent, high-quality field conditions. During this time, our maintenance activities include, field grading and repairs, turf restoration and material redistribution, fencing and infrastructure repairs, and equipment operation. Preventative maintenance is also performed to ensure the fields remain safe, playable, and sustainable throughout the year. By dedicating this period to the focused maintenance, we are able to protect the long-term quality and performance of our fields, reduce the need for emergency repairs during the season, and ensure that the fields are ready and in top condition for all of our players and teams. And that is a very quick one for you tonight. And unless you have any questions, that concludes my presentation.
Yeah, one question, Wallace, before I turn it over to the rest of the commission. So you're saying that we maintain all of our ball fields. Do any of the leagues have a role in the maintenance of the fields as well?
So there's a collaboration that goes on. Okay. During the season, when the leagues are using the fields, they're responsible for the maintenance. So we provide them at the beginning of their season. That's what the purpose of the moratorium is for, is that we give them a playable surface with all the repairs that are made to it so that they are responsible for carrying on the maintenance throughout their season. And then the fields typically transition to Parks and Rec activities, and their staff maintains them. And then again, in the middle of November to late November, the fields are handed back over to us on Public Works maintenance to make the repairs and get the fields ready for the following year.
And how's that relationship been working? Satisfactory?
Oh yeah, very well. Yeah, it's very well. We have good relationships with all of the leagues as they have needs that arise. They'll contact staff or they'll reach out through Parks and Rec, and obviously, internally our communication with Parks and Rec is good, and we try to do the best that we can for them.
Have there been any leagues that have been somewhat negligent on their responsibilities of maintaining the fields and you had to get involved?
No, we haven't typically had that. There's been maybe some problems in the past, but it's been probably our 7th or 8th year of the leagues doing their own maintenance, and so we pretty much have everything ironed out.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? Thank you, Wallace.
All right, no worries.
Moving on to reports of the park planner. Nemo.
Good evening. I've also got a really brief report for you all, starting with Owl Park at Roberts Ranch. We're currently in discussions with the developer on Phase 2A, and I wanted to identify that by providing this visual here. So Owl Park is a community park, and so it's conducive to tournament-style play, and one of the things that we've heard loud and clear from our pickleball community is that they want an area to be able to congregate that extends into the night and have several courts where they can gather and play tournaments. And so we've identified as Owl Park as the park that's going to be receiving some pickleball play. Phase 2A will include 6 courts and the parking lot. That's essentially the extent, although there's going to be a phase 2B that includes other amenities like shade structures and play elements and a flat field, so turf field. This is a concept that we literally agreed to this week, and so it's subject to some minor revisions, but this is kind of what we think is going to move forward. And the time frame for this is relatively quick. The developer is looking to sort of execute a contract with the city and be able to move forward with it this year.
And just a question on that. So you said phase 1 is just pickleball courts in the parking lot?
Phase 2. Phase 1 was the dog park that we took a tour, I believe, last year. So that's already been constructed, open to the public. This is phase 2A, which includes the 6 pickleball courts and the parking lot.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And we were talking about this earlier, but Play for All, again, my understanding is that phase 2 for this project, so phase 1 is obviously what's already built and out there. Phase 2 is this Challenger ball field, and some of the elements are up. I believe that they are trying to provide a replica of like the AT&T wall, and that's vertical, it's up there. And they've done some rough grading for the ball field, but that's the extent of the work that they've done. And so as the contractors progress, I'll try to go out there and provide some imagery to keep the commission informed. Phase 3 is, again, that small and large dog park. Again, plans are approved, and we anticipate that construction will start this year for that. An update on Centennial Bike Park. We are currently about 2% done with the dirt, so we've got a bit to go. But the objective is to get 900,000 cubic yards total of dirt out there before we can kind of shape it into a bike park. And I believe that this is my final update, but this is just a reminder to the commission that we've got a kids fishing event this weekend out at Lagoon Valley Park. The time frame there, it says from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., but there isn't necessarily a start time. There's different stations out there, and so if you show up at 9, you'd still start at station 1 and then move forward. There's instruction that's provided. Again, the objective is to have this be something for kids. So I believe if you've got a child under 15, we'll have volunteers out there that show them how to use the equipment, how to fish. I think there's even a station for cooking your fish. So if you're available, highly recommend it.
Great.
That concludes my presentation.
Great.
Is this actually the first year for this? For the fishing?
I apologize. What was the question?
Is that the first year for the fishing out there, Lagoon?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there actually fish out there?
So the Department of Fish and Wildlife is providing, I forget how many pounds of trout.
2,000.
2,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You don't need fish to fish.
Well, you can just sit out there. Yeah, well, it's for the kids, not for the adults. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Commissioner Frazier.
Yeah, I just had one question about Owl Park. Because right now between the small and the large dog parks, there's something they're drilling. Is that like a well that's going on out there? I can't remember.
There is a well going in, and I believe that's under construction. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I've run by there a lot, and I was like, "What? What is that?" So
yeah, it's not. The entirety of that park, and maybe something that I'll do just for your edification is I'll bring the entire master plan that shows all of the different areas. But there's a lot going on there. A portion of that is actually open space that's going to be undeveloped. A portion of that is CEQA mitigation for an owl preserve. Mm-hmm. Again, that has to remain untouched. And then we're kind of weaving the park aspect of it in and out. So the pickleball courts, they will be, the next sort of amenity is that thing that you've identified. I think it's a pump station. And then on the other side of that pump station, there will be the existing dog park. And so it's not necessarily all these amenities sort of next to each other, but they're being woven in by trails and sort of passive recreation elements.
Yeah, the trails out there are really neat that go behind it and out there towards the other basin in that way, and they stop after a while, but hopefully they'll continue on. And yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And Nemo, just a quick question on Unity Meadows Park. I know it's not in your presentation, but got an inquiry from a resident. It looked like there might be some survey work being done out there. Are you aware of that, or?
That is correct.
That is correct. Good. Okay.
We have, again, we've hired a consultant, and in order for them to be able to put some concepts together, they need to conduct a survey. Survey will be like a day or two.
Okay. Yeah. Just want to be responsive. Great. There's not any other questions. Thank you, Nemo. And we will now move to reports of the recreation manager.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. Tracy is going to pull up my presentation, and I've got a few updates for you. So the first thing that I want to let you guys know is we had a cool little renovation project at the VPAT box office. We did a little upgrade on the front counters. So on the left, you can see we kind of had this old school metal type of drawers, which some of them were no longer working. So you can see the tape holding them together. And so our picture on the right is the after. It's got this really cool kind of swirly marble type of patterned top, and the colors are upgraded. So the cabinets are functional, the storage space is maximized, and staff are very happy with the upgrade. So that's really lovely. Next slide. We had our senior resource fair on Thursday, January 22nd. It was a smash. We had 50 vendor tables. We actually had some people show up the day of wanting space, which is a great problem to have. And so we also had about 150 attendees, which is really cool. The resource fair is for not just seniors, but also adult children who may be caring for their parents, people who are looking for resources for their parents, grandparents. So it's really kind of more of a multi-generational informational type of event. And some of the feedback that we got from vendors and attendees was more events like this, please. So staff are looking at maybe putting together some kind of smaller pop-up vendor type of events for the future. So that was really great. And then Nemo and I probably should have coordinated on this, but I'm also promoting the fishing day that's happening this Saturday. We also have our National Girls and Women in Sports Day on Saturday as well, so you can get a 2-for-1. Both events are free. As Nemo mentioned, the fishing event opens up at 8:30, but there is no specific, you don't have to be out there right at 8:30 to do the rotation. For the National Girls and Women in Sports Day, it does start at 9 at Three Oaks. And then we have a guest speaker panel that will be moderated by Amy Gutierrez, who is formerly with San Francisco Giants. The panel will start about 9:45, 10 o'clock. So if you want to catch that, then you probably want to make your way there prior to 9:45, just to be on the safe side. We will also have some of our contractual instructors on site to promote their programs. And we will also have refreshments, and it'll be just a really lovely day to be able to honor girls and women in sports. And this will be our second year doing it. So we're pretty excited. It seems like it's becoming a staple for us. So staff are already talking about what they can do for next year. And I wanted to mention for the Kids Fishing Day, it's not the first time that we've hosted this event, but it's been said several years, many years since we've done it, and it's coordinated with California Department of Fish and Wildlife. So it's kind of when they have the opportunity to be able to do the fish donation, and we are getting a huge amount. So it's going to be
instructional and show them how to do things.
Yeah. So there's like Nemo said, there's actually stations where kids can come through if they're novice fishers, then they can, start at the table where they learn how to cast a line, and then they're moving through all of that, and then they can go to one of the designated fishing spots, and afterwards they can come back, and there will be a barbecue grilling station where they learn to cook their own fish with lemon and all the accoutrements. So if they want to bring their own tortillas, they can have fish tacos. So that'll be a really exciting day on Saturday. Thanks, Tracy. A few upcoming programs. We have Parents' Night Out scheduled for Valentine's Day, and the hours will actually be extended to allow for parents to take advantage of an opportunity for a date night. So that'll be 5:30 to 10:30, and the Parents' Night Out is typically staffed by our youth services TGIF staff, and it's usually for grades 1 through 6. And then we also have several camps going during President's Week, because of course the kiddos are going to be out of school. So gymnastics, preschool, and TGIF are all going to be offering a variety of camps. And then finally, we have our Active Aging Chinese New Year luncheon that's going to be on February 12th, and that'll celebrate Year of the Horse. So that's pretty exciting, and that's always a big event for us. And we've talked about this at past commission meetings, but just as a reminder, we are getting closer to the time of year where we would have traditionally offered our summer registration expo, but this year we are moving all of that fully online. And so Christina Santoyo, Recreation Supervisor, and her staff have been working diligently for the last few months with Melody and our marketing staff to really put a comprehensive plan in place to get this set up for success. So we will actually have staff available at McBride Senior Center in person to assist if people just aren't able to do, the tech stuff online if there's kind of the pipelines kind of get crammed. And then we'll also have the computer lab at McBride open as well for people who may not have a computer at home. So one of the pieces of information that was kind of key that came out of the surveys we conducted earlier last year was that residents really wanted to have a priority registration timeline for them because they felt like they were competing with non-residents for all of the summer camps. And so we are opening resident registration up on March 7th for a week, and then March 14th, we will open it to non-residents. So this, of course, is a new endeavor for us, so we will see how it goes. And as always, it'll be a great learning opportunity, and you guys know we're always trying to improve our processes. So trying to be in tune with what people are wanting and what people are requesting, and if we can put more effort into making the online system more readily customer service friendly, but still having, some humans available for assistance. We're hoping that this will really be able to provide a more seamless platform for people instead of having to come in person on a Saturday morning and wait in line. So we are still offering our usual discounts if they sign up for 3 or more camps. And then I did put on here, we also have our coupon code SUMMER10 that they can use online as well. Next slide. Oh, and that was actually my last update. So thank you very much.
A question, Elizabeth, on the summer camps is, what typically is the ratio of residents versus non-residents? Do you have a sense of that, or am I putting you on the spot?
You are putting me on the spot a little bit. I might defer to Mel, but Mel's also kind of shrugging. I mean, that's a great question, and we have that information. We have traditionally measured that, so we can get that and send it out to the commission. I just don't have it off the top of my head.
This year is going to be really good because you're doing it this way and you're going to get it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to measure what the percentage is of people who take advantage of the resident registration period compared to the non-resident registration period. And I think that will really provide some definitive data on how successful it is and if people, are taking advantage of it versus just talking about it.
You got a week to do it.
Exactly.
Any questions, Elizabeth? Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll move on to reports of the director.
All right, good evening once again, Commissioners. So I just have a few updates this evening. The first one is on the Park and Rec Commission recruitment process. So at the last City Council meeting on January 27th, the City Council created an applicant review committee. And what's going to happen this year is this committee will review all applications and interview the potential candidates and then rank them and provide that information to the mayor. This particular committee is going to be made up of 2 city council members, 2 residents at large that are appointed by the mayor, and the director of the commission, so myself for Parks and Rec and Aaron Morse for the Planning Commission. The 2 city council members on the committee that have been appointed are Councilmember Stockton and Councilmember Chapman. And the 2 community members that have been selected to sit on the community include Sean McMahon and Kathy Ramos. And so the application deadline for commission applications is February 9th. Actually, all 4 of you, your terms expire. So if you plan on getting your information in, make sure you do that. So that's the new application and recruitment process. After February 9th, staff will be reaching out to all applicants to begin that interviewing, that recruitment process. So that's that one. Another thing that's been going on is strategic planning process with the city council. So on January 16 and 17, the council had working sessions over at 3 Oaks, Friday evening and then all day Saturday. And they spent some time just providing feedback on council priorities. They reviewed the community input from a community survey that had been done, and they reviewed the information that came through focus groups. And then they provided kind of high-level input to the directors and the city manager and some of the public that was there on what their priorities are. So that happened January 16 and 17. Then last week, the directors, along with the city manager, had a retreat all day where we took that information and we are working internally to kind of put together the next plan. So we will be working on that, and that'll be coming back to the council this spring, probably March, April, for starting the next fiscal year with a strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years. So that is something that's going on. Another item on January 13th was an item of the development impact fees that went back to City Council for consideration. At this meeting, staff provided basically the information and a recommendation for consideration. The council provided some direction and feedback, and it was not approved on the 13th. And the council has asked staff to work on a longer phase-in period for the fees. So staff is now working on that, and we think that will come back. It also requires an update to some of the Nexus study, and we have to then notice the public hearing once again. So that will be coming back to the City Council in March, hopefully for approval at that time. And then finally, there's been some movement on the East of Leisure Town process. So there was a meeting on January 29th, and this is for the East of Leisure Town specific plan area. So community development held a community meeting to get some feedback on that process. So there was the draft land use plan that was shown to the public, and then there were different areas for the residents to provide feedback on different things like infrastructure, roadway, traffic circulation, parks and open space, and some of the other things, including like kind of showing what that process is going to be. And that will come back to this commission at the appropriate time in the process. So that will be coming to the Park and Rec Commission as well. I know there was some public comment regarding that tonight as well. So probably, I think tentatively June is the time frame that will come to the Park and Rec Commission for information and review and consideration as well. So, so those are some things going on. So that's my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of the director? I unfortunately missed the strategy, the two strategy meetings, but just curious if there was anything significant out of the strategy meetings related to Parks and Recreation that we should be aware of.
Most of it was pretty high level. There was discussion on things like our mission and vision and core values. So the council spent quite a bit of time kind of talking about those things, and we are looking to kind of refresh those. There was quite a bit of conversation around economic development, and there were some public comment that had to do with parks and open space, but not anything specific. We are going to continue to implement the Parks and Recreation Master Plan and the new Arts and Culture Master Plan. So they provided some overarching goals that we are still working on internally. And we will be coming with strategic initiatives and action. It's still very fluid and being worked on internally with the city manager and the directors and all the different departments at this point.
Great. That's it? Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you, Mr. Mulder. So lastly, we have reports of the commissioners. Commissioner Bruman, would you like to start us off tonight?
Well, it's a great presentation from everyone. It's great to see that Child Park is coming along, and there's a lot of discussion. And thank you, ladies, for coming out today and putting your opinions and letting us know. Just glad to be back. I'm refreshed, back from vacation, and glad to see you all. It looks like we're missing two other people, but hey, what it is, But that's all I got.
Great. Commissioner Frazier.
Just a couple of things. First is Melody. I just wanted to say thanks to the art for the artwork, the work you've been doing with the art committee and stuff. I've had multiple people come up to me with comments about seeing artwork in Vacaville, and it's all been really positive, from School Street to the mural on the library to, all the other ones downtown. So yeah, just really good feedback. So, and then with strategic planning, I did attend one day of a strategic planning, and just wanted to say that, if we come out of this with a really good strategic plan that reflects the heart and the minds of the people of Vacaville, that would just be a really good guiding document to help resource allocation, and especially if they really thoughtfully consider, our community, as part of that. So, and when I was there on that day, it seemed like it was going in that direction, and there's a lot of work to do still. So it'll be good to see kind of how that ends up. So that's it.
Great. And Commissioner, or Vice Chair Gutierrez.
Yeah, I don't have much. I want to just thank the city for continuing to go out to the locations where the community is and getting that feedback and actually seeing that feedback being presented, whether it's in art or our parks or whatever it is. I just appreciate you guys continuously reaching out and really incorporating that feedback into everything that has been presented. And that's really it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair. And just a few things. I actually not only attended the city council meeting when the impact fee nexus study was being presented, and I actually attended pretty much every opportunity I could, previous meetings, to be engaged with that. And I just wanted to compliment staff and our development community and the council for all of their efforts involved in that process. It has been a long 1 year, at least 1.5 year, and a lot of meetings, a lot of engagements, and a lot of work. And it's important, but we did it right. So I think we're nearing the finish line. So I'm excited to see that. So compliments to staff, the development team, and the council for taking this effort on. Too many communities, cities will just push it down the road and they'll ignore it, and that has some serious consequences on funding for your public infrastructure. So I wanted just to make that comment. I also am very excited about Saturday, and I hope to attend both of them. It looks like that was one of my questions for you, was how do I be able to attend both? So I think I'll probably attend the Girls and Women's Day first, and then go over to. Okay, great. Looking forward to that. And then lastly, I had the opportunity to attend our very inspiring Martin Luther King Day, and I think it's the third time I've attended, and I just continue to be inspired every time I attend, and I just compliment everyone involved, particularly Vice Chair Gutierrez and all of her efforts to start that day and to continue it for the last 6 years, if I recall. It was just wonderful, and there were so many memorable parts of that day, but I think one in particular that stood out was there was a girl giving a presentation of a poem, and she was struggling, and she was scared and nervous. And it was just so heartfelt to see how everybody in the room and the public were so supportive of her and encouraging of her and giving her compliments and you can do this and encouragement. And that was, to me, was really emblematic of what the event is all about. And so that particular moment, on top of a whole lot of other moments, really touched me. So thank you. So with that, if there's not any further business of the commission, we will adjourn to our next regular meeting on Wednesday, March 4th. Thank you, everyone, and good night, Vacaville.